Hola familia, it's Alex. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. So today I have a fun video for you guys. As you guys know, I love eyeshadows and I always like to see what I have or what has happened that I was not interested in. So as you guys can see from the title, we're doing another palette I'm so glad I did not purchase. These are palettes that I skipped out on that maybe some of you guys don't even remember that they were released because we are going back a year. I decided to go back in 2019 to see what eyeshadow palettes did I completely forget about that were released that I'm so glad I skipped out on. So I have 8 of them today. But before we get into those eyeshadow palettes, if you're new to my channel, welcome to the familia. My name is Alejandra. I'm an eyeshadow enthusiast with a dash of brush pan. That is something that interests you. Subscribe, join us. And now without further ado, let's get on with these 8 eyeshadows. Now, as you guys know, this is not my first merry-go-round, so here's the disclaimer that I always have to feel like doing because Karens and Karinas decide to come out of the woodwinks and go, "Meow." So, if you purchased any of these eyeshadow palettes, please don't get offended. I have purchased many things that everyone else was like, have you seen my shop, my stash? Yeah, there's a few in there you probably are like, I should have never bought that, but I did anyway. So if any of these eyeshadow palettes you purchased, you do you, that's okay. All of us have different tastes. All of us have different necessities in our collection, so it doesn't bother me. It shouldn't bother you. I hope we're all on the same page. You guys know that I do these videos without having any malicious intent, so I hope you guys remember that whenever I do that and if I forget to ever do this disclaimer. So anyway, let's get started on these eyeshadow palettes, shall we? Alright, so the first one is actually 2 palettes in one. This brand, you guys, and I know because I have about 3 of them in my shop, my stash this month, and you probably think that I enjoy it now. These were the Morphe, and I'll put the pictures up on the screen so you'll have them all right here. These are the Morphe 18B and 18F. Okay, the only one that I would have considered is the greenish one. Did anybody remember that Morphe released these? Are these even still available? I have no idea. These both are very similar to the ColourPop Just My Luck with all the greens and the yellowish. There's Just My Luck, the Ooh La La. No, not Ooh La La. My luck. I forget. The yellow and the green one. And then the top one is the pink and purples if that's what you're really going for. But yeah, I am so glad I didn't spend $18 on either one of these 2 eyeshadow palettes. The next ones are a whole collection that I'm so glad I didn't pick up any. So far, anybody that has shared any of these in any type of favorites, fails, reviews, haul updates, any of that nature has not liked these. They all said that they were lackluster. The shimmers were not that great. The mattes were okay, but it wasn't worth it for the mattes. And that is these Fenty... what are these mini palettes? I forget what they're called. They're $25. They are $25 a piece because you can still get them. But they're the 6-pan ones. There's a few color selections here that I would have liked, but everyone that I've seen has not liked these, have returned them, have decluttered them, have sold them. So glad I did not jump on this bandwagon. I don't have much Fenty in my collection. I think only 2 things I have that are Fenty, and they were in a little mini set. Other than that, I haven't tried anything else that has been Fenty. And you guys know I am an eyeshadow fanatic, and I love to try all types of eyeshadows, but for whatever reason, the Fenty eyeshadows just don't grab me to want to try. And I'm so glad I skipped on this one because everyone doesn't like them either. Alright, so this one breaks my heart, but I need to say it. These are the Milani Gilded Eye and Face Palettes. I have not. Has anybody done anything with these? I don't think I've ever seen many people show these in videos. Maybe 1 or 2 videos since then. I have yet to even see them in person, to be honest with you. I haven't seen them in any of my local drugstores, Target, Walmarts. Do they even still exist? Somebody, please, because apparently I am so out of the loop. I just found out today that Morphe has another sidekick brand. Morphe too, just like Tarte has their sidekick brand. I just found that out today. So I don't know what happened to these. Does anybody know? They're $20 available at Walmart apparently. And Milani, but I have been on the Milani website and I haven't seen these. So what happened to these? All right, here's another one that I'm still so happy. I try not to repeat these, but this one I'm so happy because I'm currently seeing people's mid-year inventory numbers, and a lot of people have said they decluttered this one. This is the Anastasia Alyssa Edwards palette. If you wanted a colorful beautiful palette. There's plenty out there, and this one just didn't kick it. Nobody really liked this one. I don't know. Did ya? I don't even know who this person still is to this day. I'm just so glad I didn't buy this one. This is one of those ones that I'm so happy I skipped out on. All right, moving on to continuing with the Morphe, grind here. This is the 35i. This was in collaboration with somebody, and I don't know the person's name. I don't know. I'm not even gonna try to tell you. But this is the Icy Fantasy Artistry one. This one did catch my attention because this is one of the few Morphe palettes that didn't have brown. Didn't have miércoles. And unfortunately, it sucked. You see? They should really stick to the browns because that's what apparently they're good at with their formulation. Because this one, my goodness, I have heard everyone basically say that this was a terrible one. The actual formulas were terrible. They just was not pigmented enough. It didn't really show exactly what it was. Maybe it was pastels. I don't know. I didn't see it in person, but I'm assuming this was like pastels because it's icy and cooler tones. So in certain skin tones, it just didn't show up. And this one was just like... no. I was hoping to try these eyeshadows from this brand, but this just was so boring to me. This was the Black Moon Cosmetics, the Metal Volume 1, the Intense Hybrid Foil Metallic Shadow Palette. Those words drew me in. Intense, foiled, hybrid, metallic eyeshadow palette. And then I looked at the colors, and I remember them revealing it one by one, and I was just like, what? Yeah, no thank you. There is a hybrid foil metallic intense eyeshadow palette that I love, and that's the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself. Those colors were nice and vibrant, and they're foiled and metallic-y, but this one? Yeah, that's boring. I'm so glad I skipped all these palettes so far, you guys. This is another one where everyone was like, yeah, I love this show. It's so exciting. I didn't watch the show, nor do I care to watch the show. Apparently it's good. Maybe one day I'll watch the show. Who cares? I don't know. This was the Urban Decay Game of Thrones palette. How many people decluttered this? Holy moly. And this was sent out to a lot of YouTubers, and I think almost all of them at this point have decluttered this one. The colors apparently were not according to the actual show. I couldn't tell you. The formula of the shadows were okay, but the cohesiveness of the shadows, and then apparently it was super bulky. We all know Urban Decay really goes out of their way to do things, because I have the Alice in Wonderland one, and I think that is so beautiful. I love that palette, the whole creation of it. It is bulky, but I have very select few Urban Decay palettes that are bulky for this reason, and this one I wouldn't have cared for. First of all, I didn't watch the show, didn't care for the show. Second of all, the color stories, I was just like, I already have it. All right, I got one more. One more. We started with Morphe, got in the middle with Morphe, now we're leaving with Morphe. This is another one. Did anybody buy this one too? Because I think I saw it for a brief moment, and that was it. It was like what is that? Stephen Hawking's A Brief Moment in Time book, kind of like that. Is that it? Come on, ESL. I don't know. Is that what it's called? Because I don't know. Didn't read it. Obviously, I'm not that smart to read that stuff. This is the Morphe 35G, the bronze goals. All right, you guys. You might be thinking, well, Alex, that kind of looks like the bronze one from Natasha Denona, but come on. At least the Natasha Denona formula is awesome. Mattes and shimmers all alike. I don't get one dud. I love the whole thing, and it's curated smaller for what it is. And I could pop the shadows out, mix and match. Like, that one's so good. This one, you know that you were gonna get a bunch of the same color bronze. At least with the Natasha Denona, I had different undertones because I shared that with you guys. This one, it's just too much. You don't need 35 bronzes. You don't need it. I think enough was Natasha Denona, and I even mentioned in my review that she could have went even smaller with like a 9 pan, 10 pan, 12 pan maybe even. But this one, who bought this one? Be honest, it's okay, because I did an all bronze palette this year. It wasn't my thing last year, but that one is just, did anybody? All right, you guys, so those are 8 eyeshadow palettes that released in 2019 that I am so glad I skipped out on. As you guys know, I am such an eyeshadow fanatic. I love to look back to see if I really did miss out on something. It was a lot of fun to go scroll through all 2019 of the Instagram posts to see what I got, what I didn't get. I did a whole video on eyeshadow palettes that I bought last year, ones that I completely forgot to even think about this year. So it's just fun to look back on. I like to look back. I like to see how I'm doing with my purchases. And with releases, I'm doing so much better with not having to purchase every little thing that releases. I'm very, very excited about that. So anyway, I will link these down if they even still exist. I don't even know. They may not even exist, but I'll put them down in the description box for you to go enjoy and roast if you feel like it. I will catch you guys in these videos right over here. Until then, bye guys.